No kidding. Are you?
This is Chris.
Hindu? Very cool. Okay. I'm getting old. My back's getting tight now, so maybe you can help me out with some yoga. No? Okay. All right. But no, this Shree's great. He's a good guy. Jen will be here. Ragini will be here. Jack Martins maybe. George.
Are you going to this?
I knew that Raggedy was coming, I found that out by calling up. Jen found out through
That was me. Oh, it knew. Yeah, that was. Yeah. I'm like, hey, I know it's a super short notice, but yeah. So this is Shree. He's okay, great. Councilman Walsh is king of North Hempstead. He was telling me, no, we're glad you made it. Yeah. Hey, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Man that comes before the supervisor.
Hey Neil, nice to meet you.
How are you?
Hello, namaste.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, nothing he said is true. Even yeah. She's
Probably we'll deal with them later.
good, thank you. No, he's a great guy. And what's your name?
I'm Madhu.
Madhu? Yeah. Nice to meet you, sir. South Indian? Hindi बोलते हैं? ओके, ठीक है. मेरी हिंदी long पूरा समझता पंजाबी है. From Punjab, yeah.
Welcome,
not that far from, because I had to take the train up to the city one time. I came here from the city. And it was near, like Queens Village Station or something.
How are you?
Oh, no, we know. I texted him, like, last year I texted him for something. So we know each other. Just that, give that off. It is what? His wife was the yellow one. They both went together though. I'll be back, I just met her. Do you know the bathrooms?
Yes.
Is it, you could just point. But I said, like, what is it? Politicians. Like, that's not going to politicians. Yeah, it's all about it. It's usually that. That's some fun. Doing something once in a while.
Bruce style, I guess. You guys got the little ones? Alright, I like the color more, the green. You don't wanna make it red?
Irish,
So like, nine, it's like 9 planets. Seven planets, there's 2 shadow planets. And this is 9 altogether.
Sorry,
India,
you got a coat style.
there's actually a few Saturn temples. There's at least all the 9 planets have a temple. That's a big thing. So sometimes people use like a pilgrimage there. The Saturn temple, which is big one, is in a town without any Moctezuma tours. So it's believed that Saturn punishes crime. So basically, the town, nobody in the town needs to walk their tours. It's like one of the major pilgrimage sites in India. It's on the tours. They're amazing. Yeah. People aren't nuts. So, yeah, it's a Saturn.
Namaste everybody, Jai Shri Shanideva. Welcome today. We are starting the evening with a prayer and a bhajan by the youth members of our temple, accompanied by the Balavikas music teacher. The names will be introduced after you hear them, so that you remember the names well. Thank you.
Namaste, Jai Shri Shanideva.
एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात् एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्
नीलाञ्जनसमाभासम् रविपुत्रं यमाग्रजम् छायामार्ताण्डसम्भूतं तन्नमामि शनैश्वरम् तन्नमामि शनैश्वरम्। जय श्री शनिदेवा।
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। एते सहस्रमयुतं पाशां मृत्योर्मर्त्याय हन्तवे। तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वान् वयजामहे। मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
गरुडवाहना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा शेषशयना नारायणा शेषशयना नारायणा शेषशयना नारायणा शेषशयना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा शेषशयना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा श्रीलक्ष्मीरमणा नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा हरि ओम नारायणा गरुडवाहना नारायणा। Thank you. Namaste, Jai Shri Shanideva, and good evening to everybody. It's my honor and pleasure and my privilege to welcome you all to this 10th anniversary celebration of Sarvamangala Sri Sanishwara Temple in New York. Most of you, and I'm sure all of you know that this temple is the only temple in the world outside India dedicated to the Lord of Saturn, the Lord of Justice. And he's been standing there omnipresent, omnipotent, and also blessing everybody who walks in to seek his blessings. I'm very honored to welcome the town supervisor, town of North Hempstead, Jen D. Sena. Welcome to our temple. Also, Councilman of Town of North Hempstead, Mr. Dennis Walsh. community leader George Santos. I'm not too sure if Mr. Vibhuti Shah is here. Welcome to him as well. And to all our extended family members over here, every single person here means a lot to us. Without you all, this temple would not be where we are. Welcome, welcome, and more are expected. So as they join in, they will join us. Before we start the entire evening, the program lines in as we present a very interesting Odissi dance, classical dance form, which will be performed by Kuldip Singh. Very interesting, and he's going to mention why and what is this dance form about and how it translates into what he's doing today. He's been, I've got to just open my, to read his biodata. He's a New York City-based artist, and he's an Odissi performer and also visual artist. And he includes ecology and anthropology with a creative heart into the whole concept of performing arts. And he's learned his Odissi form from none other than Madhvi Mudgal, who's a sort of a doyen in Odissi dance form from India. And it's a special a genre which is like very deep into the study of Odissi dance form. So you will see him before I talk about it, then you'll see what intensity goes into the whole aspect of what his presentation would be. So now let us welcome and put our hands together in bringing in Kuldip Singh.
Namaskar everyone, thank you. Thank you for hosting me. About Odissi, it was a very serendipitous journey when I was studying communication design at Delhi University, and with a profound focus on history of Indian painting and philosophy. And it's Indian classical dances where you see the legacy of our last 2 millennia is still in continuum, as well as music. It was my fortune to have studied with a guru like Madhviji, to continue this grand 2200-year-old style of Odissi. Odissi comes from Orissa. It's a very lyrical style. The upper torso is an undulation, creating pretty much the waves of the sea at the coastline of Orissa, which also talks about the magnificent history of Orissa as the pioneers in the maritime trade industry, even predating the Roman civilization. The present day Odissi is a colonial construct. The Devadasi traditions have ended, but the dance has stepped out of the temple complex and come on the stage. The style of Madhviji is very subtle, nuanced, and very immersive. It's where the interdisciplinary approach of architecture, design, painting, philosophy, literature, poetry all comes together. I began my first piece with a 16th century invocation to Ganesha, Namami Vignarajatam, the one who removes the obstacles, the son of Uma, the one who's profound and gigantic simultaneously, the son of Shiva. To him I invoke to seek blessings on daily basis. The piece concludes with a Trikhandi Pranam, which is salutation to the cosmos, to the Guru, and the Rasikas, which is the audience.
Vighna Raja Kalpa Vriksham Hitam Uma Putram Mahakayam Dantikam Nrityakovidam Tandava Priyaputraya Tandava Priyarupine Namo Chintamani Nityam Shubha Buddhi
Volume a little louder, perhaps for the next piece. It's hard to dance and speak. The next piece, like Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Mohiniyattam, Odissi also divides itself into two components where there's a storytelling and then there is pure dance. I'll be performing a piece in pure dance, which is ornamental, references to the body postures, the triangular bent, Tribhanga, which dates back to 2600 BC to the Indus Valley civilization. The body is cut into three bends, a position which also, which also is focus of Krishna. Pure dance pieces do not have a literal meaning. In Odissi, these pieces are called Pallavi. Pallavi is the flowering, the fluorescence from a bud to a bloom, where a given raga expounds itself through visual motives, through expanding, accelerating design in terms of its swaras, onto which a dancer choreographs various patterns. This Pallavi is set in Rag Kalyani, a very rare piece which comes from the tradition of Guru Kelupchand Mahapatra, who choreographed this as his early career work in the 1960s. The beauty in this piece comes from the North Indian style of the Rasa Leela from Vrindavan. When Guruji had choreographed this piece, he recreated motifs in subtle speeds, double speeds, keeping the simplicity intact. It's very interesting that when you study dance or music, you're reaching to an efficiency, a proficiency, but you forget the simplicity. And I think this piece is an ode to that sense of simplicity, the simplicity of math, the simplicity of arrangement of components, of parts, and coming together of temple wall sculptures, music, and specifically the percussion, the Odissi drum, which has a lag or a delay in its time cycle when it is struck. This kind of delay lag traveled through sea route trading to Indonesia, to Java, Cambodia, the whole Southeast Asia, even eventually to Sri Lanka. So it's very interesting the present history of Odissi which we perform, and someone who's learning the percussion to understand the form better and deeper, how when I look back at a piece like this, which I'm performing after almost 11 years, it's an utter joy to be performing for this community here. It's interesting that how much energy the carpet takes in compared to the stage. It's a challenge to dance on a carpeted floor. But This is what I'll present about Odissi today. A journey which is very lyrical, very immersive, but also simultaneously very contemplative. So, thank you.
Can you come for a second? Thank you so much, Kuldipji. It was a short notice. We answered him to come, and he's here performing. Thank you so much. We tried to match your costume. We are going to say a few words about how this temple emerged and what are the activities we have been doing and who we have been collaborating with before we thank people who stood behind us, stood with us, led us to where we are here today. And also our young team of friends who have always been with us. We don't want to call them volunteers because they were part of a family and they stood with us like our family members. So to start with, as I earlier said, that our temple, Sarvamangala Sanishwara temple, is the first temple in the world outside India dedicated to Sanishwara. Sanishwara is the lord of Saturn, and he's been the lord of justice. And in our, mythology, I wouldn't use that word, sorry. In our Sanatana Dharma, they say that he is a person who, the most compassionate, most adorable person who offers anything you want, but somehow there's a taboo with him saying that he's scary. Because, if you, in Tamil they say, Agathila Bayarna, Agathila something and Varila Bayam. So that's what it is. If you have some heaviness in your heart, then there is something like we are scared about. So that's what it says. And so, if you realize who this beautiful Lord Sanishwara is, he's the most compassionate and he offers all the blessings and he's ever blessing person, deity, God, friend, everything for you. So saying that, the Sarvamangala Sanishwara temple initially started in 2013 under the registered organization called Sri Navagraha Devasthanam. And the concept of this Navagraha Devasthanam was to have 9 temples in 9 cities for the 9 Navagraha Devatas. And that's how we wanted to do. After 9 years, we are here still today with the first temple. First is a trial. It's a sort of a real difficult stuff, but we're sure the next 8 should be very simple. It'll be like snap of a finger, we should be able to get it done. With everybody's wishes, God's blessing, and our seniors who are here, our torchbearers' blessings too. So that's what we are. In the temple, we do lots of activities. To start with, we have regular religious program. We open every day, even during pandemic, we've opened completely. We were open every day from 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning and 4:30 to 7:30 in the evening. Saturdays and Sundays were special days, and we did not close the temple even the peak of pandemic. The reason was mainly because people needed solace. They needed a space where they could come. And we did follow the protocols. We did have social distancing. We did everything possible. In fact, we had, the gentleman is not here today, Jay Chan. He used to sit outside and allow only 10 people inside so that they could be distanced, do their prayers and go back. So this is what we did. And also, again, the ex-president Donald Trump, as most of you know, somehow got the message that we did this program on regular basis, and he sent a letter saying that, keep up the good work. I'm not talking about being Republican or Democrat, but the president of the country sending me a letter. So that's what it is. Apart from the regular ritual services, we have some very interesting programs where we start with Bala Vikas. Bala Vikas program is a program for the children. We started with 45 members, then it became virtual during the pandemic, and now it's hybrid, both virtual and in-person happens every day. And we are waiting to start again in September, because summer we close and we start in September. And if you have any kids who want to learn about our arts, culture, our heritage, chanting, bhajan singing, and leadership program and other trainings which we do at the Bala Vikas. And we have some fabulous teachers there who just give their complete dedication into making these kids more comfortable, so comfortable that they keep coming back. And that's very special for us. It's one of our most cherished program, because temples are not for us, it's for generations to come. So if we groom the next generation, that automatically grooms into various levels and generations after generations after generation. Senior daycare facility is one other program which we do, and of course it's been done at a different location. I'm waiting for some clearances to do it here, where Dennis Walsh, Mr. Walsh would be very helpful to get some clearances, for which we're going to move the senior daycare program here, and we're going to do it in collaboration with the Lakeville Civic Association. So it will become a community space where everybody would come in, there where we have yoga classes, we have health program for seniors. Seniors from age 65 and above would be here. We pick them up, we give them breakfast, we give them lunch. They come and enjoy themselves over here because they are away from home in a home. So they're very happy. And at the moment we have about 55 members who are members of the senior daycare program which we do. Apart from Bala Vikas, we are planning to include something called, a program called Bright Mind. Bright Mind is a collaboration which we are going to do with another organization, which is a holistic program for a new pattern of education for young children, young adults, and most probably everybody, but you're going to start with the children. It's the first of its kind program we're going to start. We're going to try it out next year, and if it works well, it's going to be an ongoing program. And I have Craig Kaufman. Craig, I'll be calling you after I finish. Craig Kaufman is one of the executive directors of Bright Mind, and he's here. He's going to talk about the program and explain in detail what we do. The idea why I'm saying this is not to bore you. The idea I'm sharing this with you all is to say that a temple is not just a place where you just come and pray and say, oh God, give me a car, let me have another house, my son should get married, my daughter should get married, and everything should be fine. That's not what a temple is. A temple is a place where everybody should come together. We should share each other's success. We should share each one's, whatever problem they have, we should be there as a shoulder giver, and the program should be extended to the community so much that it becomes a special place for everybody in the community. And that was what temples were in India a long time back. Even if you take Tanjavur temple, which is supposed to be the oldest temple in South India, it was a temple where it nourished arts, nourished culture, there were education programs, they were trade, everything was happening in that temple. It was a place of social gathering, not nightclubs. So my point is, we want to create something which everybody should benefit out of, and we want to create this special place, a hub called the Sanishwara Temple, where everybody is there for each other. We hold each other, we cherish each other, we promote each other, we help each other, and everybody should grow as a community at large. And I'm sure the officials here will also agree with me and support us in our venture. Mr. Dennis, I always turn to you because your son has always been with us. So,
I'm here.
yes, thank you so much. Apart from the senior program and the Bala Vikas program, we have community activities. What do we do in a community activity? During pandemic, we did help everybody in picking up groceries from here. We sent groceries to seniors who needed support. We had also provisions which is being collected in the temple, given away to others who need the provisions. Could be rice, could be dal, could be fruits, could be vegetables, which were shared to the communities. And also we collaborated with local gurudwaras where they took all the urad dals and other stuff for them to make dal makhni. So it was very interesting. It was used. Nothing was wasted over here. We did not garbage anything. Everything was utilized for the community again, for the people who need it. As part of the Bal Vikas program, we do this monthly sandwich program for homeless shelters. The kids used to do sandwiches, and that used to be taken to homeless shelters and given to people, along with other things. What we would give some fruits, some other pizzas and other stuff to help them. It's once a month, but now again, as part of the temple program, we are going to collaborate with Street Care, which is a homeless a program for homeless shelters and homeless identity, where again Craig Kaufman is also one of the board members there, would also talk about it. And we're creating an app where anybody can download the app, and if you see a homeless person, you can click the app. It shows where is a place where you have, a place where they support homelessness. Is there a shelter close by where they can get free food, where they can get free amenities? Everything is given in that app. Very interesting, and I want everybody to download that and help people. We don't have to just immediately carry them, hold them, and give them, but this app would help to tell them, okay, walk five blocks and you have something over there and you can. So this is what it is, and I think it's a very interesting program. But as from the temple, we used to go with a couple of volunteers, go into the community. We used to go to homeless shelters, give them, sandwiches and, food material. And of course, sometimes it's also during pandemic, we gave them masks and gloves and sanitizers, which I don't know if they used it, but we did give them and try to tell them that that would be very helpful for them to be safe. I'm sure most of them were safe. Apart from these regular programs, we have family counseling, which we do for, families in sort of a little shaky things. We work with them. We have immigration legal counseling through a couple of attorneys who are working with us, and we extend these programs to them. We have some issues with immigration. You can contact us. We immediately show our hands to our paralegals and attorneys who are helping us and helping the members of the temple. And to mention, we have Vaishali Chowdhury, who has been always supporting us with such cases, and she's done a great job in getting green card for some people and all that stuff. So thank you so much. I think her brother is here, Shamik Chowdhury, so thank you. You should tell her that. Earlier, we used to do regular health fairs. We used to do at least once in 6 months, which due to pandemic, we had to stop. And again, now, we have started this program on July 19th. We are having a healthcare program over here. And this healthcare program is for people in the community. Again, we are trying to reach out to the community members. Any organization here, you have connections, please tell people. We're going to have a health camp over here, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on July 19th, Sunday. And we're also reaching out to Lakeville Association for them to come and participate in the whole program and bring people into it. Arts and heritage, which is very special for us. We have regular programs in music, in dance. So whenever the kid comes, we take classes. If they don't come, we have fun too. So it's dance classes, music classes. We refer people to, and I'm one of the founders of a dance organization, arts organization in Manhattan called Navatman, where we have 125 students, and we have a festival every year called Drive East, which has been absolutely successful, and they claim that that's the top six festivals of the East Coast. And it's attended every year. New York Times write about us, and we bring in some great artists. We also promote in-house artists from within the country. So that's what we are doing over here about arts and culture. Then we have done sort of theater work. We have done documentary movies, and recently we released a movie on Mahabharata, and it's been very successful, and it's been screened in various festivals of films around the world. So that's also associated with our temple. The temple is collaborating with a number of organizations where we do lots of collaborative programs. One is Navatman, of course, for music and dance, Shantiniketan for senior daycare program, Prana and Spaces. We are planning to start a sort of a retreat center upstate, which we are working on. Hopefully it'll be successful. And then Bright Mind, of course, for children education program, Street Care for street programs and homeless shelters, Indus Discoveries, which is a very ambitious program which I don't even want to think about it, but it's always there in me. It's about starting a museum of Indian and Vedic culture, about Sanatana Dharma, a moving exhibition around the US, which was inspired by my son. He said that, what's the use of having temples when we don't know anything about the Vedic culture? So I thought a museum would be very supportive and helpful for this, and it initiated the thought. Hopefully we'll be able to do it. So this is what we do. If you guys have any question, you all know me, you all have my number. My number is 718-781-0885, which has not changed for last 27 years. Since the first time I came to this country, this number was given, and since then I've been having the same number. It's not changed. So please, anytime you can call me and have any things clarified. Now, coming to the most emotional part, very close to our heart, is I want to just say a few words of people who have been always with us, supportive. So there are, where do I begin? So I want to talk about this lady who lives very close to our temple area. And whenever there is an issue, I call her, and every day we speak on the phone, and it's very special that, like when I call, she hears me, and she gives advice of what we can do, and she's always there to help us. And that's none other than Mrs. Jaya Bahatkar. Thank you so much, Jaya. You've always been such a support to us. Thank you. And we have the next person who's very politically big. He's been the man for Long Island Republican group, and that's Sharanjit Singh Jind. Thank you so much. Yeah. He puts all the information on the news magazine about the temple. He's got a news magazine, and he mentions about all the programs, what we do, and he supports us in media and outreach. Now, volunteers. I said I do want to call them volunteers. It's my family, my extended family. I think everybody in the audience is what they are. I should start with the youngest of the youngest, Reyansh Ranjit. He is a kid. He doesn't want to come. So he's very small. He's just about 4 years, 5 years? 3.5 years. But he takes complete in charge of the temple. And he comes, he knows where the coins should go, where the bucket should be kept, what happens after the Abhishekam, how to wipe the, I should put videos, but I don't want to, do that, but still, he's an amazing kid. So it is inspired by, as I said, the next generation gets groomed by the parent. So Ranjitji, Romilji, they've been volunteers. Can you just stand up at least? I know you don't want to, but still. So they have been there for quite some time. And then we have younger generation. Yes. The generation of what, Ranjit is his father-in-law, Mr. Hariharan, who's been with us always from the initial days. Yes. Now, I am not going to miss out on somebody very, very, very important. He walked into the temple one day, and of course, and he said, I will, do the puja if you think you want me to be here. So that's what, he had this sort of very interesting presence who walked in, and he started chanting so well, and we were all mesmerized, and even today we are mesmerized. Welcome, Dilipji. Nice to see you here. Better late than never. Thank you. And he's got this sort of perfect way of doing things, and if you don't do it right, he gets like a little worked up, and that's our Balu Mama. Interesting. He's called Balu Mama in the temple. Outside he's Bolana here. And he's got a, what do you say, email, I'll not say that. But anyway, it's so fantastic that he's amazing. He's been a true inspiration for us, which, like, he wants everything meticulous. So, thanks for that, Mama, keeping us on the tracks. Thank you so much. Whenever we have a program, we just have this sort of, we want everything to be laid out well, very perfect, very clean. The mic system, sound system should be very good. And sometimes to make his presence, the sound makes a little bit of a sound, that's fine. And that's Dr. Pradeep, who's there. And one person who I can, like, I don't have to, see, like, whether it's done or not. Like, the sound system is everything. Like, if it's 5 o'clock program, the previous day everything is set and everything is so well kept, and I walk in, like, I feel so, absolutely so proud and so special to walk in. He takes care of, he's a doctor by profession, and he's worked for major hospital chains, but he always here, and he's very humble and quiet in getting these things done. So, coming back to young volunteers, again, I don't like to use the word volunteer. My young friends who are here is Yogi and Hassan. They have come forward, they do lots of work. The reason why I'm saying is, like, it's every day we are seeing them. It's not like, we don't even, I don't know whether we say thank you or what, but then we get the job done, we run like a mill, and we get so many things done. It's amazing that they are there for us. And now, the Balavikas teachers. We have Madhuji, who, he's also getting into the, volunteering stuff. Bhaskarji. Srinathji, can I also ask you? He's a consultant for our Balavikas. Yeah, Anandiji. And yeah, coming back to, when we need to take, sort of document the whole thing, we have to, normally we just say, yes, no, this person, that, but there's Mr. Sundar Vadivelu who always takes pictures. And he's taken so many pictures for the temple. We have about, thousands of pictures, but he appears in one or two, so special he is for us. So, yeah. Praful Bhai is one of our very senior person who comes in every Saturday. And one of the speciality is that, he always, Saturdays he brings something special for the Naivedya, offering to the God. And that's relished by everybody. And if he doesn't come one day, he says laddus or aloo ka, something special. And every day,
What time does he come here?
you have to come and check it out. He never gives out that secret unless you're there waiting for him. And once you have it, the next week you'll be there.
Thank you.
So, have I missed out anybody? Rupa, you want to?
Our senior younger bhajan singer, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, I'm coming to them last, yes. Yeah. One thing is we have Dr. and Mrs. Gupta. Can you get up? Auntie. We have the privilege of always pulling them around, and they're our most friendly person there. And it's after the prayer, it's about 1 hour full of laughter, jokes, and pulling each other, and that's something very important too for us. It's a stress management. Thank you so much for always being there, both of you. And you always take, leading bhajan. He'll start with one bhajan, bhajan A, bhajan B, bhajan C. That's what we always. Thank you. And Rupa takes the charge of the kitchen area and the food serving area, which is very meticulous, and she wants everybody to be there always. So she. Hmm? Yeah. So when she does that, she always held by two people. Only two people she trusts. Even if I go, I'm thrown out. The two persons are Lakshmi Chechi and Vasanti Chechi. Get up, please. So this is how the whole family is there, and then I know this. I'm making you all sit here because you should listen to it. Normally you come, politicians. I'm sorry to use the word again. You speak and you vanish, and you don't know what the organization is about and what we are doing. So I'm just trying to. It's because you're going to be, if you're going to be part of the community, it's nice if you know about what we are doing and you get involved with us, and then you are there every year, over year after year after year. You get our support. If it's just during the election time, then we lose. Sorry. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is, give me 2 more minutes, and then the platform will be open for our, whoever wants to say, and then you'll be saying your words, and then, we'll have a lovely dinner made by Rupa, and, hopefully it's nice. I have to say that regularly because I have to get dinner every day and lunch every day. So this temple is something which we want to sort of unfold for everybody to be here as a family. Let there be no boards, let there be no trusts, let there be no volunteers, let there be no, committees. Let it all come together and take responsibility and work together in evolving this whole place into a community by itself, and we all live in peace, harmony, and shed all our differences. But one thing, each one has a character for ourselves. We have our own egos. But can that be balanced in a way that we all can live together? And this is something which I learned from this organization, Heavenly Peace, cultural organization, which I used to go there, and these youngsters used to have this program meticulously done in various locations. And, that used to inspire because people from all walks would be there. I think Chris and his friend, you should just stand up for a minute and WTR. And it's completely run by youngsters, and it's something like an interfaith program where they have regular programs. Every Wednesday they do the program. They bring people from all walks of life, and then they talk about various religions, take up a subject, discuss it in detail for everybody to understand what it says and how we can match each thought process, each religion could be together thought in a sort of a nutshell and be together. That's the concept. And it's very peaceful and so peace-loving. And if everybody practices that, we wouldn't have all these sort of, wars and borders and boundaries and visas and passports. Everything can be taken off. We can live as one world, as we say in Sanatana Dharma, Vasudeva Kuttapakam. So, with that, I'm going to open the floor. If anybody wants to say something, please, this is the time. Revati ji, she's a RN, and she also has given us lots of programs in, the first aid boxes comes from her. She gives ideas. So, I would say, Ishwar, please get involved, say something, and I'd like to, if there's something which we need to improve on, don't be too critical, please, be nice to me. So, anything we need to incorporate, anything we can include upon, we can. And by the time, if you want to put your minds together, I can call the leaders to say a few words. Jiaji, Sharanjit ji, you want to say something?
Thank you.
There's Dilip ji. One thing about Dilip ji I want to say, he's the Deputy Commissioner of New York City now, but he, I know him for almost 10, 15 years, so first time we wrote the face sheet, and then I was saying I'm going to talk to the community, how do I get the community involved? So Dilipji immediately gave me about 3 names. Go contact these people. So I immediately went and contacted them, and that's it. Those guys, are still with me today, and we became partners in senior program, everything, and we have worked together now, and it's been an amazing journey for me with his guidance.
Good evening. Namaste to everyone. I see here so many good friends, Ranjit, Haribra, Dr. Desai, Gurupaji, and all of you. See, the temple is stand on the, sometimes you need the key people, right? Suppose if you want to run something, you need one person. So here 2 key pillars for this temple, and I have right to say about 2 people here, Rupaji and Sridharji. Whenever you go to the temple, Rupaji's voice is for anyone, Bhaiya. Bhaiya means brother. Namaste. What does it mean to namaste? When you say namaste, means I bow down to God in you. Whenever you meet Rupaji, you feel some kind of the, sometimes you have some divine words. That's how I always feel. Why I can say that? I don't know how many years I know Rupaji and Sridharji, both of them very well. Sridhar, if you Google about the Sridhar, in New York Times, they have written the article about his organization called Anamika Navatman. He runs that institute. I don't know how many children he has trained with the different kind of the classical dance and so many different activity he does. And he does the Drive East Festival, Drive East in Manhattan. You all should be part of this. Come to the temple, you see what the activity they do. Right now, the biggest challenge is gun violence. What they do, Saturday and Sunday, they have the Pathsala. Means young children, they come here, they pray, they learn, they teach the different kind of languages, maths tutorial. So what that can, not only religious tuition or religious learning, but that can prevent them to go out of the way. So I think we need more people like Sridhar and Rupaji. Sridharji, can't thank you enough for what you are contributing to the community. He has a center in Queens Village long time back. Then they moved here, and you can see when you are very focused, don't listen to others, and you are defined at what you wanted to achieve. I have seen him when he has very one-room temple, and now you can see in that side the temple is there. This beautiful banquet hall is here. So that's how I can see the growth, and their blessings also works on me and so many other people that I have personally witnessed. So again, Sridharji and Rupaji, they both deserve our standing ovation. You can count on us. We are always there for you.
I would call on Craig. Craig Kaufman to say about the street care and the Bright Mind. JC, you want to go?
Thanks so much. It's wonderful to be back at the temple always. It's a real honor. It's great work that happens here. So Bright Mind is a 501c3 wellness education organization. And what we do is a variety of tech-based and generally wellness-based educational programs. So we had a school during COVID that, again, emphasized the really a kind of loving and caring development of children, but also with strict academics. And so we're looking forward to building that further here in New York. We've done that in Washington and other places. And we really try to apply our work and use the latest technology. So we created this street care initiative, which is really a first of its kind app that is a way that anyone can get past the fear and the sort of ignorance and concern about going and helping people in great need, and have the tools they need, have a toolkit with videos with really clear expert-based advice, so that you can go and not just give a meal, but give the first step yourself to connect, build community, find ways to have a long-term connection with someone through technology. We did the same thing with vaccination, where we were the one group out there that aggregated all of the incentives, put it on an app, and got national media to spread the word at a time of great need when a lot of people were dying. So we're so excited to be working. I've worked with StreetArt for about 20 years, so it's wonderful to be doing this. And you all know how great the temple is, so we look forward to working together and welcome anyone to be in touch with us about any of this. Where our apps are StreetCare at streetcare.us and vaccinationrewards.org. So he said you should download them, so I'm telling you. And thank you again.
Hariji, thanks for being here. Deputy Director from Deputy Commissioner, Deputy Director of Asian Affairs Council from Nassau County. Would you start off saying something? Sharanjiji, you want to say something before we start out?
I can say it from here.
No, come here. Let people see you. I mean, they know you very well, but still.
I'm not sure they know me very well. First of all, I'd like to thank you everyone for coming here. And there's someone, a common friend introduced us a few years back, and our friendship has never looked back since then. And even though I'm a little bit like on the private side, never wanted to be in front of, but I'm here for support. And thank you everyone for coming. Do your best. This is, as Shira said, temples are not here only to come and wish for things. They're also to come together and celebrate and share. So once again, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hariji, please come, say something, and you should call your colleagues.
Namaskar, everybody. Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Harry Brar, and I work with Howard County Executive in Nassau, Bruce Blakeman. I'm one of the directors for Asian Affairs. So anytime anybody here in this room has a question, I really want to encourage you to understand that we have a very open door policy. If there's anything we can help with, whether it's funding religious institutions, our charities, cultural enrichment programs like Mr. Kuldeep Singh's earlier, we want to make sure that Nassau County is a place that really leads as the gold standard for the South Asian community and beyond. Mr. Chauhan's doing a great job in New York City. We want to match his efforts here. We want to make sure that this is your home for years to come. And I want to congratulate Shri Bai on the 10th anniversary of this temple. And the county executive actually delivered something for me to hand to him. It's a special occasion, so we want to do that for him. So if you don't mind coming up, sir. And obviously we'd like to invite Rupaji as well. So please join us. I think Rupa should lead. Come on up. So on behalf of Bruce Blakeman, on behalf of Nassau County, we congratulate you on 10 years, and we wish that you add a few more zeros to it. Thank you. We hope you add a few more zeros. And I also want to recognize a few of my colleagues in the audience. We have George Santos, and you know, this is not a political occasion, but George is running for Congress in the 3rd District, which represents New Hyde Park. So if you guys have any questions for him, It's a great idea to talk to him. He's full of excellent ideas. And I want to introduce Councilman Dennis Walsh from North Hempstead as well. And would you like to say a few words, Councilman?
Well, I have a proclamation also.
All right. His isn't as big as mine, so I'm glad he's going second.
He's challenging you guys. He doesn't know what he got into. That's right.
You know, first of all, the supervisor, Jen DeSena, who was here, had to leave because Jen goes everywhere to so many functions, and she had to leave here to go to Glen Cove. And she was supposed to be there by 8, so God bless her, I hope she made it. Now, I would like to present a proclamation, but what we have here is a small proclamation. It's not as big, but I'm going to tell this guy I was a New York City cop, so you better be careful, don't fool around. But this, first of all, I want to say that I appreciate you inviting me here. I always am of the opinion that we work for you all. And I'm only in the town of North Hempstead now for 6 months as a councilman. I was a trustee in the village of Mineola for 9 years before that. So I've been working with people a long time, including being a New York City police officer in the 70s and the 80s. So I've been around, and I really do believe in unity. I believe that everybody is the same under God, and I believe that I feel very welcome in this place. And I appreciate you inviting me. And this is a small proclamation. And you know, these proclamations are pieces of paper, and they build up, and we get proclamations. But the real part of this presentation is that the people of the town of North Hempstead welcome you. It's not me welcoming you, it's not the proclamation, it's everybody in the town of North Hempstead. And you know, the population of the town of North Hempstead has increased since the last census. And it increased mostly by Indian people, Chinese people, people from your community, people from your neighborhood. And as far as I'm concerned, you're very, very welcome to New Hyde Park. I'm from Mineola my whole life, but you know, we really do appreciate you coming into town and living here and progressing. And I also like the idea of the senior group that you're going to put together, because you know, in the village of Mineola, we have 2 senior groups that meet. And during COVID, they couldn't meet. And you know, when people get old and they don't have transportation and they have nowhere to meet, they sit in their window and they sit in their chair and look out the window. And without organizations that invite them to come in and to dwell and to experience the day, senior people can be very lonely. So I really appreciate you doing what you can for senior people. Thank you.
Actually, before I knew Mr. Dennis Walsh, his son, Neil, used to come to the temple, I think, way back. You want to say something about it? Maybe he's going to become the next president or something like that.
No, I'm not. I can just say, I can just come up and say hi. So I didn't expect to come up and say hi.
Namaskar, everyone. Namaskar. Namaskar. So I want to thank Shrida and Rupa for having this temple here and for inviting. I think I came here initially with a group of friends that invited me, and then you've had many groups over the years, many meditation groups, many different kinds of Hindu groups, other kinds of organizations. You've also been very open about talking about Hinduism, about Shanidev, about the experience, and I think that this is one of the most unique temples that I've been to in North America. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I'd like to call Mr. John Santos to say a few words, and he's a community leader. So let's hear it.
I'll keep it brief. Usually you said that politicians come, they say hello and leave. That's not true. I stay. As it's very basic, I am a community leader from Queens, but I was born in Jackson Heights, so I am no stranger to samosas. So The opportunity of running for office and to represent people is to get to know communities, and it's to get to understand each unique community's needs and cultures and obviously their food. So I always look forward to that. I want to make sure that I extend an opportunity for everybody here that I am available to learn. I want to learn. I want to be able to go to Washington, D.C. to represent you, and the only way I can represent you is if I learn everything I can about every unique community. We're a district with about 47 different nationalities. We speak about 29 different languages. So it's important that I get to know as many of you as possible so that I can fairly and justly represent you. So with that, if anybody has any questions, I'll be sitting here for a little bit more. And thank you for having me today in your temple, and congratulations for 10 years. Thank you.
Mr. Vibhutija, would you like to say something? And after that, we would be having, any temple members, devotees would like to say a few words. Please come forward, be ready. From the youngest to the oldest, anybody, please.
Thank you, Sridharji, and thank you everybody for being here today. And I'm delighted and honored to be part of this community today. George is running for this area. I'm running for Port Washington. But there is one thing which I wanted to say, is that what Sridharji was talking about, one message, what George also referred to. Get engaged with the communities we live in, because unless we know what you are doing, there is nothing that we can do about it. So engagement is the process where everything begins. So I see some familiar faces here, and very delighted to be part of this temple. Dilipji, greetings to you. And Shitaji, so nice to see you here. And Jayaji, I didn't know that you were here and providing the temple so much support. So Dennis, how? I did not know that your son was coming here all the time. So look at it this way. You participate in one community event and you come to know so much more that you did not know. And George is here. He will fight for you and I will fight for you. The reason is very simple. Our voices need to be heard. And if you want your voices to be heard, then you have to engage in the process. Sridharji and Rupaji, really, really grateful that you do such an outstanding work. And you have my support. I stand behind you. Thank you very much.
Sheetalji, you want to say something? Dr. Sheetal is actually, Dr. Desai is actually, any organization, she's always there. She stands, she gives us support, she comes forward, and she runs a cultural organization and does all these mega programs, and she invites people to participate. So I'd like to hear some words from her, and our devotees, please get ready.
Namaste everyone. Thank you so much Rupaji and Sridharji for doing all this. I've heard a little bit more about how this temple came along. It was in Rupaji's dream of having Shaniji here, and I think the work that this temple has been doing is amazing. I have had the privilege of hosting a Diwali celebration and an Independence Day celebration in Brooklyn Borough Hall with this organization, and it's amazing. It's just a lot of culture, a lot of food, a lot of fun, and enjoy. Thank you so much, and happy 10th anniversary. It's a decade of excellence.
This is the youngest volunteer, I said.
Namaste everybody. I had no idea that Sridharji is going to put me on the spot to say something, but since he has already called me upon, I thought I'll use this opportunity also as a feedback to myself and also to my fellow members of the temple here. As he said, we were introduced, I was introduced to the temple through my father while he was volunteering in the temple. I think right before my daughter was born, which is 7 years ago, and I think we have never looked back. Coming to the temple, it's like coming home, to be honest. It's like it gives a lot of feel being back in India. It helps me touch base with what I grew up, and I feel very fortunate to see that my kids get the same opportunity that I had, though they are away from home. And Sridharji and Rupaji has always done a phenomenal job in delivering opportunities, especially to the younger generation. They always say it's not about us, it's always about the kids that follow us. It's them. Anything that they do, they always have that in their mind. As Dilipji said, I want to mention this before I forget, about Rupaji coming to the temple. There is not one person, whoever walks through those doors, she personally greets everybody, says namaste, and asks that person, how are you? You know, if she recognizes it's a new face, she would say, are you coming here the first time? How can I help? She kind of makes them familiarize with the temple. Everybody is welcome to be involved with the temple. I don't think we have that kind of opportunity with as many community centers. I could say that much. This might be the temple that invites everybody to get involved and do better continuously. And obviously also about the Bala Vikas program. I can't thank enough for that kind of opportunity my kids had. Before I end, I want to say about Rigveda and Rayansh, both of them, especially my son Rayansh. Anytime he's off from his play school, anytime when he knows either me or his dad is not working, he thinks it's time to go to temple. That's how he looks forward to. So thank you so much. Congrats once again on 10th anniversary to Sridharji and Rupaji. Jai Shri Shanideva.
Namaste, everyone. My name is Hassan Thelmakani. I'm actually I'm going to junior year of high school at Jericho High School. I've been coming to this temple for about 3.5 years with my dad, and I mean, I love coming here every Saturday and every Monday. I hope to keep coming here, and I also volunteer here for Bala Vikas with Ranjit uncle, I just love coming here, and thank you all for coming, and have a great night.
Thank you all for coming, Mr. Dennis, Mr. George Santos, Mr. Harry, and Paisab, everybody, who are here. First of all, my son just spoke. I would just like to mention one thing, before I go to the other stuff. He would like to actually come and volunteer for your campaign, Mr. Santos. So, you're welcome. So I thank all the speakers for all those inspiring words, and thank you so much. I've been coming to the temple for the last 3.5 years, and I think I came the first time, and I don't know what changed me, and I just started coming, especially with the warmth and the affection of Rupaji and Sridharji. I just keep me and even my son, we just love to come here, and as many days as possible. But of course, we have to work too. But if not, this is a great place, and we really enjoy coming here, and so is a lot of the devotees here. They also feel the same thing. And thank you so much, all the elders, for those kind, inspiring words. Thank you so much.
Jai Shri Shanideva. Namaste everyone. My name is Bhaskar. Like I am with Bala Vikas for the past, I would say, 6 or 7 years. And I found immense pleasure in teaching the young kids. And thank you so much, Sridharji, for providing me the opportunity. Sridharji and even Dilipji was saying that temple is not the place where you just come and worship and show your concerns, share your a grief to God, but it's also a place where you come and show your support. It doesn't need to be a monetary benefit. You can also volunteer in the temple. And like Sridharji was telling, there are a lot of opportunities where you can show your support. It's how those days we have a ratha chariot, where it's not one person who can draw the chariot. There needs to be a lot of hands which is needed to take the chariot around. Likewise, if you have to run selfless temple like this, we need a lot of support from everyone. I could see a lot of dignitaries here and providing a really great support. Thank you so much for that. And not to praise Sridharji or Rupaji, I always run short of words. Their selflessness is something to be appreciated. I don't have enough words for that. When my kid comes and asks me a question, I often tend to say that, hey, you can do this math, it's not easy, it's not a rocket science. I wonder how they used to face their son Vishnu, because how easy to launch a mission to Mars, right? And I'm very proud to know Sridharji, and his son is being part of this mission, and we know somebody who is of this great in nature, providing a lot of good things to the community, but also to modern science. But on top of it, imagine even our kids does small things, we won't always praise them, right? My daughter does this, my kid did this, but I never seen them even once praising their son. I don't know how one person could stay that low. I mean, that shows their modesty. Thank you so much, Sridharji, for being part of this community. And you could have easily said hey, you know what, I can, my son is in NASA, he could take care of me. But on top of it, I know how much hard work you put, how much dedication you have, from decorating the deities. I could see every minute details he puts in to make the deity really look more divine. It's definitely commendable. And no wonder, I'm not surprised, just we have crossed 10 years. It's going to go many years, and we have many more years, successful years to come. And thank you so much once again, Sridharji, and congratulations for the 10th year. And this is nothing, there are many more years to come for your great service. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
I think we're going to just, the dinner's getting ready in 2 minutes, the dinner will be there. And here I want to mention a person whose father inspired me from my childhood. Nagachandran Mama. He's a professor from University of Princeton. And his father used to always inspire, that's again Pradeep's dad, you know, how the generation comes together. His father used to always tell me, like, you know, service is the best thing. Always, he was an eye surgeon who did free services, free eye surgery for lots of people in Madurai. So, welcome Koshiji. A round of, yeah. Yes, a first doctor to start the whole eye surgery stuff. So now, quickly, I'm going to say thank you so much for being here. The dinner's ready. And once again, Dr. Pradeep, Madhuji, Hassan, Joshi ji for coming and doing the program today, making it a success. Anandi ji for making a dish this evening. Thank you so much. Let's have a dinner. Thank you so much for being here. We need your support. And anything from us, we are always there to assist you, serve you at any time required. Thank you so much. Pranams, and let's have dinner together. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, could I have the phone? Thanks, Sally. Thank you, Josh.